we're certified. So when it comes up, we're doing that, so we're good. And we also have the new med-vac helicopter people out of Valdosta, where they've set up over in Valdosta now. We have them to come up and did a landing zone class for us and told us about their chopper and stuff like that. Things, do's and don'ts, you know, when you're around here. So we've done that class also, covering about everybody. Also the substation that I'm still working on. This will be a substation at Lakeland, the one we're working on at Seven Rocks, a new fire station. Still working on that. It's an ongoing project. We're doing that as the money comes about. Only other thing I'm asking tonight from the council, I went to the city, went to the county yesterday, we approved a mobile command station. Y'all seen the trailer that sits beside the fire station? That's a mobile command unit. And the firemen have been pretty much funding that themselves. We've got radio base stations in there. It's set up where you can live in it if you had to. I don't know if y'all remember the time the water got up to touch the bridge. They had to close it. So this unit will be set on the other side of the river with an ambulance, and have an ambulance on both sides of the river, because it's a long haul to get around, you know, when that happens. So that's kind of what we got into. They have a lot of one more thing we're trying to add, we've already acquired a laptop for it, and we're looking for internet service for that. It's $27 a month, half to the city, half to the county, $13. I just asked him if that's okay with y'all. We'll add it to the phone system, internet service for that mobile command. If there's no disagreement on that. Just one more thing. One thing that comes in handy, just to explain it a little better. Remember the tornado came. We were using a fireman's personal stuff that we're certified. So when it comes up, we're doing that. So we're good. And we also have the new med-vac helicopter people out of Valdosta, where they've set up over in Valdosta now. We have them to come up and did a landing zone class for us and told us about their chopper and stuff like that. Things, do's and don'ts, you know, when you're around here. So we've done that class also, covering about everybody. Also the substation that I'm still working on. This will be a substation at Lakeland, the one we're working on at Seven Rocks, a new fire station. Still working on that. It's an ongoing project. We're doing that as the money comes about. Only other thing I'm asking tonight from the council, I went to the city, went to the county yesterday, we approved a mobile command station. Y'all seen the trailer that sits beside the fire station? That's a mobile command unit. And the firemen have been pretty much funding that themselves. We've got radio base stations in there. It's set up where you can live in it if you had to. I don't know if y'all remember the time the water got up to touch the bridge. They had to close it. So this unit will be set on the other side of the river with an ambulance, and have an ambulance on both sides of the river, because it's a long haul to get around, you know, when that happens. So that's kind of what we got into. They have a lot of one more thing we're trying to add, we've already acquired a laptop for it, and we're looking for internet service for that. It's $27 a month, half to the city, half to the county, $13. I just asked him if that's okay with y'all. We'll add it to the phone system, internet service for that mobile command. If there's no disagreement on that. Just one more thing. One thing that comes in handy, just to explain it a little better. Remember the tornado came. We were using a fireman's personal stuff that day.
Attorney George Wynn proposed intergovernmental agreement between the City of Lakeland and the Adair County Board of Commissioners for the City of Lakeland to perform the animal control operations for the county.
The council asked me to prepare a contract where we're going to, if it passes, take over the animal control for the county. The county was using John Westbury for a while. Unfortunately, he passed away, and that kind of threw the county in limbo about what to do. And it's been tossed back and forth a time or two. And the city and the county, if y'all could reach an agreement with the county, would be one more step toward cooperation between the city and the county, which we desperately euthanize these dogs, and I think she sent it to you a few days earlier. And it's attached to this proposed agreement with the county, and it shows what the city has spent, an estimated cost about what the city spends each year in each category. When you figure out a contract, you have to figure in the labor and insurance for the employee and vehicles, uniforms, and that sort of thing. So attached to this proposal, it shows you what the city estimates their expenses to be for catching these animals. And everything is included there that we can think of except euthanasia. There's a charge for when you euthanize an animal, but we don't know how many animals there's going to be in a year's time, so we've left that blank to put in the euthanasia expense. So if you haven't already looked that over, you need to do that at this time. And I think, if I'm not incorrect, the county was paying about $37,000 a year to catch and euthanize all the dogs, room and board and everything. Each year for the county was about $37,000 a year. So that'll give you some kind of guideline about what we're talking about. But that's a council decision to arrive at what proposal you want to make to the county as to what the city will charge to do that. So the floor is open for discussion as far as I'm concerned. And I put this contract to start whenever us in the county can agree to it, and to end on January 15, 2014, which is right around the corner. But the reason I did that is because there may be new commissioners in after the first of the year. There may be new council people in after the first of the year. And they may or may not want to continue this contract if we agree to it. So that's the purpose of putting in it lasting now until January next year.
If we want to cooperate with the county in saving our citizens money, everybody lives in the city of Lakeland, lives in the county. Everybody lives in the city, pays county taxes. So we're saving money both ways for our citizens by going together in this animal control. But at the same time, we want to make sure it does not cost the citizens of Lakeland more money, you know, to enter into this contract. We don't want to make any money off of it. We have no desire to make any money off of it, but we sure don't want to lose any money doing it. We want to break even. And it is an expensive thing. We're a 1 mile radius, and the county runs a lot of miles every way. You know, so it's a lot more expensive on gas and wear and tear on the vehicle. And he can be in Stockton, get a call to go out to Banks Lake Point, or get one call to go to Walker's Crossing. And that's a lot of miles to ride. Where here, you don't never ride over a mile, you know, go to a call. So we're going to work as close as we can with our county commissioners and be as upfront and all as we can, and give them all the details, the cost, and hopefully we can make this thing work to benefit all citizens. Anybody else got anything to say? Y'all want to, George, what do we need to do now?
Well, I propose that the council agree on what amount they're going to charge the county on an annual basis. And those payments would be made on 12 monthly equal installments plus utilization expense. And the bill would be due by the 14th of each month, which would give county time to pay them after the meetings each month. So
37,000 will be included, all supplies, everything, did it not?
job, as I understand it, John, that included boarding the animals, catching the animals, euthanizing the animals. But that included euthanization expenses too, whereas we're not included that. That would be in addition to whatever we charge. But it's not my job to say what the dollar amount will be. That's council.
Give us a suggestion.
Diane has been working on that. Diane has come up with some figures.
Well, that's attached to this contract. What the figures are $64,907 a year, which would be about $5,342 a month.
Yeah, we can't charge more than we're on the head. We can't charge us $64,000.
You talking about splitting that 64?
Yes.
Talking about splitting? $30,000.
32. All right, looking at, sometimes you get more dogs out of the county for a month than you do out of the city. BJ, you here tonight, is that true?
Yep.
Where do you spend most of your time, in the county or the city?
County?
In the county?
Yes.
About out of every 10 dogs, how many of them comes from the county?
About 10 dogs, probably have, in a month's time, you probably have close to 30 to 40 dogs out the county, coming into the city. Pickups. Probably about 3 calls, 4 calls a day,
To the county?
county.
And how many you to have in the city?
In the city, you might get 1 or 2 or 3 calls in a day, you know, maybe one day, might not even get a call at all in the city. It just varies.
Okay, also, animal control is 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. Especially people, you know, I don't know why, but most of them, young as get bit at 10 or 12, 11 o'clock at night, don't they, DJ?
Yes.
And of course, we have to go pick them dogs up and put them in quarantine. It's really hard. What we've been charging the county was an actual cost, but we didn't have everything included, what it was costing us. And so they were getting a pretty good deal, you know, like they were, like it was going.
Well, Diane and I also worked on some figures about if you wanted to charge by the dollar. But it's a lot of bookkeeping involved. You may not think about it. There's a lot of bookkeeping involved if you do it on a per animal basis, because that's going to require a lot of administrative time. How many miles did it go in the county to get the dog? What happened if you went out there and there was no dog? You know, that kind of thing. It's just a lot of expense involved to do it on a detailed basis. And about the best way you can do it, you do it on an annual basis, plus utilization, and then look at it later on and see, well, was that a good deal or a bad deal?
Well, this is for a 12-month contract, right?
No.
I mean,
Well, it's initially until, it would be based on an annual rate of time.
This one right here, January 14th.
Yeah, but it could be renewed at that time.
Oh, Diane, what did it cost us to run animal control last year? Just the city?
$37,290.
So really, going with the county just about doubles everything.
Right. Well, it does with the food, utilities, the fuel for burning, euthanize animals, maintenance, fuel in the truck, equipment, we need more equipment, traps.
All of the things for the employee, you know, just backup pay, overtime pay, workers' compensation, liability insurance. And of course, this would be subject to, we need to make sure that we're covered under our insurance policy if we travel out in the county and do something, you know. That would be, this contract would be contingent on that being agreed to by the insurance carrier. So, number one, do you want to do business with the county? And if so, you need to start talking or asking some questions. Do that in a work session if you want to do that.
I think we ought to have a work session, and invite the county commissioners and all sit down together and look at all the figures and talk about it. What do y'all think?
Yeah.
I have a motion for that.
Yes.
You move, got a second? Second. All in favor say aye. Okay, thank you. Okay, number 8, Attorney Wynn, an ordinance to amend the public indecency ordinance for the city of Lakeland to repeal conflicting ordinance for other purposes. This will be the first read, August the 13th, 2015.
You've had this ordinance before you for a couple of months. Last meeting, y'all voted to have the first reading for tonight, and it's been before you. What this is, basically, is a baggy pants ordinance. And it's going to be a lot of fun, I think, trying to enforce this ordinance. But maybe it would have some effect just to have an ordinance in effect. You know, it may do some good just to have it there, even if you didn't try to enforce it. I'm not saying it can't be enforced, but there's a lot of leverage that go on there. You know, was it really that low, or were you really showing your butt or not? You know, that sort of thing. That's the ordinance, and I'll be glad to read it for y'all. It's been before you, I'm sure you've read it. Been a good counseling that you like. So, that being said, we need a motion to approve the first reading of this ordinance. We got a motion, 2 motions.
It don't matter, I'll say it, Donald.
All right. Donald made the motion and John seconded. Any more discussion about that?
Both of the newspapers, y'all got copies of this ordinance, have you not? Okay.
We're talking about this ordinance from New York, one town that has got a $5,000 fine and a 90-day jail if they catch them breaking this ordinance.
This ordinance is kind of tracked after the one in Moultrie, which I understand is very effective, and we'll see how it works in Lakeland. So we got a motion and a second.
Any more discussion? Any more discussion? All in favor say aye. Anybody likewise? Okay.
So we'll have another reading on it next week.
Did we get to say something on what you all just said
Uh,
about the baggy pants? And this is my first time coming here, and I'm not sure what I need to do or how I need to do it.
we have, at the end of this, I'll have an open comment session and recognize all the people here for something to be able to say. See, you have to vote more than one time for this ordinance to go into effect. Okay?
I'm listening.
So, down here at the end, I'll ask, I see a lot of people here, maybe, we may have 5 or 6 people want to get up and say something about something tonight, and you will have the opportunity to comment. Yes, ma'am. We welcome, we love to have our citizens come to our meetings and comment. We welcome that. But we work for you. Beer and wine applications. Harold E. Smith, application for license to sell beer and wine to be purchased and consumed on premises, place of business, Sailfish Bar and Grill located at 18 West Main Street, Lakeland, Georgia. Chief, what is your comment on this, approving this?
Well, the captain, he's got the details on.
Okay.
Part of our reporting system is to watch for trouble spots that rise up, places that might need more police intervention more than others. This place in question, Mr. Mr. Smith's establishment has received several complaints out of the norm, 4 major incidents with fighting. Last one required a wash down from the fire department. Checking the records, Mr. Smith and his son are have a pending court case for the fighting, the disruptions, and the arguments out in the middle of the street. The disputes were disputing over furniture theft. There was a fight inside. There was a fight inside that went outside. There was a fight outside that, like I said, that required the fire department to respond and wash down the sidewalk after the incident. That's about where we stand with that. Kind of labeled as a hot spot here in the city.
So you've been having more than average calls?
Yeah, that's how we track it through our reporting system. If one place starts getting more calls than others, or just abundance of calls, we kind of monitor that a little more. In this case, this place was flagged as a trouble spot.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Yes, Mr. Smith.
I'd like to say a couple of things about it. There was no fights. Me and my son didn't fight. My son is mentally disabled. He was off his medication, run out of his medication. I didn't know this. And he's also bipolar. And he come down there into my shop, and he was using foul language, and I asked him to get out of my shop. Not to be doing that in public. But this has nothing to do with my barbershop and my business. Not at all. And then the other, and Monday morning after that, we took my son to the counselor in somewhere mental health, about the hospital. We seen his counselor, we seen his doctor. They got everything regulated, and he has been like a child since then. They've got his medication done, and I made a remark the other day. I was trying to tell the captain that my son has disabilities, mentally disabled. He said, well, this ain't got nothing to do with it. This is criminal. There was no fight at all. He slammed the door. He went out and slammed the door because I told him to leave. And when he did, his hand went through the window. He cut his hand. And then my son was standing there. He lost about a pound of blood. He did. So I'm the one that called the 911 number. And then when they got there, I think there was about 3 cop cars. Mr. Giddings was down there, where my son was there. And I told him, well, in that mark, he told me, so I said, well, how would you like to lock this one? He said, I wouldn't have to lock this one. That was his remark. He made a smart remark to me. Right there. I didn't know people in his standing would talk down on a mentally disturbed child like he should be in jail. I can't believe he stood up here and said what he did. It's not right. If you don't want to give me my lesson, that's fine. But judge me. And I also rent out at least all them apartments upstairs. And what he was talking about, 2 of his officers called down there. And the girl was $700 behind on her rent. So she gave me, I got witnesses, she gave me a bedroom suite and a computer for her rent. All right? She called the policeman, and when they got down there, they said, well, you got to give all her stuff to her. I said, well, she gave it to me. He said, do you have anything signed? I said, no. I said, does she have anything signed? He said, no. He said, well, I'm going to lock you up. I said, lock me up. Well, I got my right. The police officer right there. Did I not say that? I thought when a tenant moves out, you cannot stop them from getting their personal stuff. Their personal stuff is their clothes and other things. But they made me unlock my door where I had to store the bedrooms and give it to them, which I had to go to the courthouse and take it to small claims court now. But this seems like they put it all up on my business. My business ain't got nothing to do with this. I've been in business all my life, 45 years. I've never been in trouble with the law. And I have had a problem with my son. He wanted to come up here tonight and apologize for the problem that he caused. But I told him no. But I didn't know who would want to peek at it. There are people like that. I've seen an example of it. That's all I got to say.
How you going to assure us that if we grant you a beer and wine license, that all this is going to go on, it's going to stop? I mean, it looks like it would compound your problem if this kept going on, if you had beer and wine coming out of it. I mean, how are you going to guarantee that you're going to have people that are eating at this restaurant and you have your son come up or some of these other...
Right now, my son is not allowed in there.
Yeah.
We have
But you have another incident report here of a 12-year-old child that's been beaten in the head that I saw.
No, the 12-year-old boy beat my son in the head, sir.
I don't understand, if we give you a beer and wine license and all this is going on...
That happened upstairs in the apartment. That has nothing to do with my business.
Okay.
And all the work that you did is right there together. If it was separate, it might be different. But I don't think we need a bigger license right there. We do everything right there together.
With what together?
You got your restaurant, you got where you sleep there, you got your...
No, I sleep upstairs in an apartment.
You got your barbershop there, and it's gonna be right intermingled. We already had the problem according to reports here. And if we give you a license, it's probably gonna come kind of problem.
Yeah, just want to make it work.
I don't see how it would have anything to do with my restaurant.
But what I'm saying, if you're having all these complaints and you don't sell beer and wine, what will happen if you start?
That's only been in the last 2 weeks. That right there, and I've explained it.
And have you complied with the other about moving out?
Oh, I've been out for 2 months.
And you separated the game room from the restaurant?
There's no game room.
So you quit the game room business?
Yes, sir.
Do I have a motion to grant him a beer and wine license? Mr. Smith, at this time, council's not willing to issue you a beer and wine license. So we move on. Next is beer and wine license application, Dennis D. Miller Jr., application for a license to sell beer and wine do not be consumed on premises, purchased and carried away. place of business is Max Convenient and located at 99 7th Street, Lakeland, Georgia. Chief Watson, again.
Again, I'll let Captain explain what was happening before I came.
Okay.
Again, through our tracking system to the reports, from January to May, there was a major incident at that location, at least once, average every month. There was, among those incidents was a battery, an aggravated assault, shots fired, harassment, assaults, and loud music and nuisances throughout. This was also identified as a little bit of a hot spot. When we respond, there'd be a large number of people standing around outside the business, outside the street. And again, we got several major complaints in that area.
Okay. Anybody got any questions for Captain? Dennis, you can come up and talk to us about that. Dennis, Mr. Dennis Miller, who's made the application for the license.
Well, first of all, how y'all doing? It's gonna be different this time. It's gonna be get and go. It ain't gonna be no hangout spot, none of that. I was under the impression before that a lot of people was paid to make a lot of calls and all that stuff too. A lot of stuff wasn't going on. Anything that was happening in Lakeland, they was blaming it on that store at the time. But this time around, it ain't gonna be no hangout, so there ain't gonna be no reason to call nobody. It's gonna be get and go.
But I've had several citizens call me and tell me they don't want it down there. That there's been a lot of problems, and continue having a problem.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, but I mean, what if somebody took their job away? That'd be my only income. So, like I say, it's gonna be ran different this time, and it's not gonna be any hanging out or anything like that.
What, if anything, did you do with the establishment for now?
Oh, I just ran it like a cashier and stuff, but I'll be the owner this time.
You were involved in the operation of the last?
Yes.
According to this incident report, this would be some pretty serious stuff going on down there. Gunshots, hitting the head. Was you down there when all this was going on?
No, sir. I'll be out of town and different things happen. Well, one incident, I was down there, but that was during the day. I don't know, I got called in. Some detective called me and asked me something that was already viewed on the camera. It was, but that was out in the street. It wasn't on the store premise. But,
You have a beer and wine license now?
oh, no, sir. I'm gonna be taking over myself. I might have it myself. Before it was somebody else.
The store is closed now.
The store is closed. But it won't be any of that going on this time. It's gonna be get and go. It ain't no hangout spot or nothing like that. And like I say, a lot of people don't want to see you win. They gonna do whatever so you don't win. And they gonna tell a lot of stuff